You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show and today we are breaking it into mobiles and question and answers with ReplaceBase. Today we've got Steve and Lee with us. First of all, before we go on to those, can you please comment in the chat? Let us know if you can see us and hear us. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty boring conversation. Well, probably not boring, but a bit beyond the point. So, Cormac's there. He's saying he can hear us. Let me just get rid of that graphics at the top right so we can see the full messages. So, nice to see you, Cormac, in Ireland. So, if you're interested in getting into mobile phones, Cormac, these are the people you probably want to speak to. So, that's good that you can actually see us. Can we get a few more people commenting? Let us know where you're from as well. We'll give your business a shout out so we can actually obviously get on with the show. So we've got a Facebook user saying Steve's had a haircut apparently and Lee's ditched the white hair since I last saw him too as well. So Gary Connor's saying, yeah, all good. We've got another Facebook user saying hi. If you are a Facebook user, let me just put the link in the chat. Just make sure you click on this link in chat and it will allow your name to be shown. So hi there, Sanjay, nice to see you. It looks like he knows Steve and Lee possibly. And we've got Jason as well from JC's PCs in Worksop as well, not too far away from us. And we've got Ryan Collins as well. So it looks like we've got a few people logged in and watching tonight. So right, let's get on with the show then. So let's start off with you, Steve. If you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, what your job position is, and well, anything else you feel free to let us know, like what you've had for your tea or something.
Sure, thanks, Phil. It's nice to see a few familiar names in the list already, so that's good to see everyone. Thanks for coming. So I'm Steve. I'm the founder of ReplaceBase. These days, I'm pretty much focused on operations and projects. I like to get involved in a bit of everything. Bit of marketing as well, which is always a bit of a passion. So yeah, and anything sort of project related comes to me.
Okay, thanks for that, Steve. Right, over to you now, Lee. If you want to introduce yourself, let us everyone know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Phil. Hi, guys. I'm Lee. I'm one of the directors over at RB. I'm mostly responsible for dealing with the retail environments and how we can value add in those sectors. And like Steve, I get involved in a bit of everything, but mostly project-based at ReplaceBase as well.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Right, before we go anywhere else, we've got to play this little video for you first.
Aerocool's high-performance cases enable you to stay on your A-game. Whether it's the Prism or Evo Mini White, show off the inside of your rig with the full tempered glass panels. With RGB lighting and unique sleek designs, these cases are sure to make an impression. Be cool. Get Aerocool.
Okay, I thought that wasn't going to finish then. But yeah, if you wanted a case or anything like that, they also do power supplies, coolers and stuff. Make sure you check out Aerocool, some pretty good stuff. We've reviewed them in the past. And they will also be attending Techmax in a couple of weeks' time as well. Well, they're actually one of the main sponsors, so they better turn up anyway, let's put it that way. So that's pretty good. So let's just have a quick look at chat. So we've got another Facebook user saying evening. Again, Facebook user, if you want to click that link in chat or type it in, I'm just putting it on the screen there. It will allow your name to be shown. Cormac saying he likes your TikTok channel. So I must admit, you look like you're quite active on social media, which is pretty good. And we've also got Alison Cook from EADR. I think we've got another vendor. Wardwiz is also in, which is a security vendor as well. We spoke to a couple of weeks ago. So there's quite a few different options available of people who are all going to be at Techmax, most of them anyway. So, right, let's get on to the show then, Steve. So, do you have a presentation you're going to show us first of all?
We do. We've just got a short deck actually, Phil. If you could bring that up.
Yeah, let me get on screen for you. I'm just getting rid of chat for a few seconds, guys. You can feel free to comment. I will bring it up back after the actual presentation, just so we can actually see it. So before I do, hi, David at Scorpion Computers as well. There we go.
Thank you, Phil. So really, we didn't really know the audience here. I can see a lot of names that I recognise. So I guess a lot of you already know about us and what we do. So ReplaceBase, we started about 13 years ago now. We sell everything from mobile phone components, MacBook, tools. We sell, someone mentioned only fix iPhones. We sell parts for phones, Samsung, Oppo, Xiaomi, anything really we can get our hands on. So we generally ship about 600-700 orders a day, a few thousand components in there. We ship to end users and to B2B as well. We supply some of the largest chains in the UK. So there's quite a lot to go over, so I won't cover everything. If you want to go over to the next slide, please, Phil. So really for the Q&A, I wanted to introduce myself a little bit more. So I mostly deal with projects, part supply. So any new cool things that come in, it's all really coming through me first. Then we've got Lee over that does most of our external operations as well. So if you wanted to talk a little bit about what you do, Lee.
Yeah, so I mostly deal with working with a lot of our trade customers and some of the bigger chains on how we can implement some of our parts or our services or solutions into their businesses, and how we can work on their growth as a business using those solutions to make everything better for them.
Well, I think we've got another one as well, Phil.
Here we go.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about this one, Lee?
Yeah, so as the title says, why break into mobiles? We know many of the sort of viewers of this platform and this show do a lot of computer or laptop repair kind of stuff, but don't necessarily do mobiles. So the first thing is there's over 55 million smartphone users in the UK alone. By 2024, it's set to be 62.5 million. It's an easy bolt onto your business. You can just start ordering the parts. Generally, the repair side of it, the tools and both the processes are cross paths. So it's something that you guys would have already have done, just not maybe in that application. Accessibility of parts, really easy. We stock over 14,000 SKUs. The chances are, if there's something out there that you guys need, we will always have it. Increase footfall into your stores. We all know that everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody is attached to their smartphone. Why not use them to repair in stores and maybe get the basket spend from letting them know that you do the other services such as laptops and tablets and computers, etc. And generally, the profit margins and the extra revenue you can earn from the mobile industry and the repair side of the mobile industry is fantastic. Really high margins.
It's not just the repair side as well. With mobiles, you've got a fantastic opportunity of upsell. You've got value add services like some of the bits we're going to talk about in a minute, accessory sales, services. You can have ongoing services. There's so many upsells involved in mobile repair as well. So it's really about building that relationship with the customer, and there's just a customer for life. So I wanted to move on to a couple of bits we've got coming up, which is just, we've got both of these demoing at the Techmax show as well. So if you're coming along, we'd be more than happy to do a live demonstration. So first of all, you can see, if you're watching this, you can see on the left side, we've got our Primo polishing machine. So this is something which, if you've watched us on TikTok or social, you've probably seen us using quite a lot. It's a new concept of a polishing device. And it will basically value add to a device. So if something's coming into you as a grade B, if you buy handsets or if a customer comes in with a scratch screen, it can go through the machine. 10 minutes later, it's got about a 75% success rate on grade up. So from grade C to B to B to A. So it's a really good service to offer. And I think Lee's had some ideas as well about offering it out as a subscription service to customers to allow them to come back 2 or 3 times a year, or throughout the warranty period of the repair. So some really good things there. We've got, if some people have seen this already, we've put it out quite a lot. But I think, Phil, you've got a video of when we did a little TikTok that actually went viral when we tried our machine out at a CX store. If you can bring that.
We'll get that started for you now. Let me just bring it up. There we go.
CEX, and we bought a grade C iPhone XR. And basically what we're looking to do today is put this on the Primo polishing machine and see if we can grade this up. So it's currently a C. We're looking for B or A. As you can see, Steve is just going through the process now of polishing the device, and then we're going to flick over to CEX where we're going to try and sell it back. So Steve's here now. Here we are at CEX. Steve's going to go in. Let's see how this pans out. So first one in, there's a lot of waiting around because they've got to test the device and obviously make sure it's up to their standard, and then they'll hopefully grade it for us. So we just got to finalize it, a little bit of paperwork and stuff to sign over. And well, it's got a smile on its face, so I'm going to assume it's good news. Let's have a look what we've got. So it does look like we've got some cash back for it, and the original grade in C, and it looks like we've graded it up to a B. So proof's in the pudding. Fortunately, didn't get our money back, but all good.
So yeah, it's a really good moment when we sort of had recognition that it works. That was the first sort of live trial that we did since the start of the development. So it was the smile on my face wasn't the loss of £100 that we got from CEX. It was the just the validation on the project, really. So that's something that we're bringing to market over the next few months, and we're really excited about it here. So I'm hoping we've got a few questions about that because I'd love to answer that. And then our other project, we're relaunching our Protection Pro by Madico, which I think Lee was going to touch on a little bit, and there might be a video there as well.
Yeah, so Protection Pro is an on-demand screen protection or back protection system, and it basically uses hydrogel via the app on the device, and using a screen plotting machine to cut to exactly the right size that you need for pretty much any device. And the benefit of Protection Pro is that they are the world leading. They're the #1 and the world leading. They have proven that the device care and the device protection works with the best quality films. Now, there's over 20,000 different devices on there that can be added within an hour as well. If there's one that doesn't show, you can do from phones, sat-navs, smartwatches, laptops, even do Tesla screens in the cars, which we first noticed. We'll be demoing that one at Techmax as well. And I think Phil's got a short video to demonstrate one we did.
Yeah, let me just start this video. Just a word to everyone who is listening rather than watching. This video is pretty short anyway, but it is pretty quiet, so you won't hear much basically going on other than a few bits of background noise, just to give you a rough idea. Good idea if I click the right video, wouldn't it? Here we go. There we go.
Yeah, so as you can see from that short video, it was us testing and proving concept how easy it is to fit on a MacBook, a phone, and an iPad, and the types of different skins that you can get to benefit someone's look or personalization of their device.
Sounds
Some
pretty
really satisfying sounds coming off of that video as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, sure.
That's it. Right. Okay. Do you want the next slide up?
Yes, if you could, please, Phil.
Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So that's pretty straightforward then.
Yeah. So really, I mean, there's so much about what we do that we could just talk about it for hours. Really, I think the main purpose of doing this was to really field any questions that we have, because we didn't really know what to expect. Questions from sort of the PC community. So it would be great if we could just really get stuck into the Q&A.
Right. Okay, guys, I've just turned chat back on. So if you've got any questions from these guys about, well, obviously mobile phones, parts, the tools, what they've shown off on the videos, feel free to ask. So just send them in. And as I said, if you really want to ask Steve and Lee what they've had for the dinner, you can do as well. I'm pretty sure they won't say no to anything. Well, you never know. They might say no, actually. I've seen some of the questions before. So let's start off with some of the questions I've got, which have come in before. So how did ReplaceBase start, and why did it start?
So ReplaceBase, so I was working as a break fix engineer at a large IT company at the time, and I was just had a bit of a side hustle of fixing iPods. So I was just buying faulty iPods on eBay, getting them fixed up and just flipping them back out. And I got to about my third iPod. I think I paid £30 for it, needed some click wheels. And I was ordering them from China straight off of eBay. There wasn't many places in the UK you could source them from, and the part quality was shocking. So I was ending up buying 5-6 components to fix each iPod. Then I was selling the excess stock back on eBay, testing it in the iPods. I went scrapping away the bad parts, reselling the good parts. And I quickly realized that I was making more money from just sending out click wheels and headphone jacks than I was from actually repairing the iPods, which were a pain. And I cut every finger opening an iPod. I don't know if there's many people here that have opened one of the classic iPods, but they're like made out of razors. They're terrible. So yeah, I got a lot less injuries from just selling parts, and that's how it started. I think the only money I've ever put into ReplaceBase was the initial £30 for my first broken iPod, and it's just grown slowly and organically over the years, and to what it is now. So yeah, that's the origins of ReplaceBase.
Well, that sounds pretty good. You've just shown off a few of your tools and different things like that. What other types of things do you sell? Do you actually sell like the parts, everything you need for them, or is it like specific items you sell?
Pretty much anything, to be honest, that you need in the industry. So we sell the sort of the standard core components. So your screens, batteries, and battery covers. They're the most popular repair parts in pretty much any device. And then in popularity of devices, it's Apple. Apple are number one for repairs. Surprisingly, a lot of consumers don't understand that it's a lot more expensive to fix a Samsung than it is an Apple, for an example. So we stock a lot of Apple parts. That's our main seller. Around that, we do a lot of sides, so drones. We do a lot of drone parts, which is great for crash season, just before and after summer, is when people are repairing their drones from last crashes and fixing them up from current crashes. So one of the only seasonal lines we have is drone parts. Then we do smartwatches, we do laptops, tablets. We stock, I think we've got over 800 lines of tools now, Lee. Is that about right?
800 lines of tools, and that's whether it's consumer-based or use tools, right up until pro stuff, which is components or micro soldering as well.
The tools are tricky because I've come from an engineering background, and there is no two techs that will agree on a tool set. So we have to diversify and have such a range of tools. It's some people love and hate every single tool that we do. It's crazy. So we've got a huge variety of tools. Diagnostic equipment, the specialist things that you need for some advanced repairs like micro soldering, and we do a lot of cutting edge parts as well. So recently we've just got in, I think we were probably the first distributor in Europe really to sell iPhone screens with a chippable IC, so you can remove any errors that previously only Apple could do. So they've been a really good line. We stock pretty much anything that comes onto the market. We're quite at the forefront of the innovation in the industry.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Again, chat, you seem a little bit quiet, so please send some questions in for us. Otherwise, it might be a little bit short of a show. I know some of you have used them in the past, so if you have, let us know if you've used them. What are your thoughts? Have you had a good experience? Or even if you had a bad one, let us know. Obviously, we want to see and obviously know your views. And if you haven't got into mobile phones, why haven't you got into mobile phone repairs or tablet repairs and so forth? Are there reasons why you haven't? Is it because you need training or know how to do things? Well, this might be the time to ask the questions. So next question I've got is a popular thing what's been going off, mainly over in the States, but also it's sort of over here as well, is the right to repair movement. What's your views on that? Is it a good thing or is it actually a bad thing?
Some people in the industry view it as a bad thing, purely because it looks like it's taking repair away from independent repair. But I don't see it as that at all. I think because we deal with consumers and B2B, I think everyone should be able to fix a device. The vast majority of people don't want to, and there's always going to be that element of independent repair. So things like Apple's self repair program that's recently launched in the States, it's been purposely made to fail and be awkward, and it's only encouraging more independent repair. It's the hoops you have to jump through is really crazy. So we've started recently. We've just started sponsoring a Restart project. If you guys haven't heard of the Restart project, they're a non-profit. They're all about right to repair, sustainability, reduction of e-waste as well, which is really important to ReplaceBase. Over the last couple of years, we've literally discontinued thousands of lines of components and replaced them with reclaimed parts. So parts removed from devices from big recycling companies. One, you get genuine parts at the fraction of the price that you would do from an OEM. And secondly, it reduces a lot of landfill of e-waste. And it's really good, actually. Over the last couple of years, a lot of people are a lot more accepting of used parts. 3 or 4 years ago, if we said we had a used iPhone battery, people would laugh about it. But these days, having a used iPhone battery that's got a good capacity still is a very in-demand component. And it's really good to see that mindset change over the years.
Okay, that's pretty good. We are starting to get 1 or 2 questions coming in, or statements. For example, Ryan Collins is saying main part supplier for us, always great service. So that's good to hear. So it'll give you guys a bit of a big head in the morning, probably. But next we've got Gary. He's saying, "Hi guys, great looking business. Are you channel focused or consumer focused?"
So it's always been a big goal. It's strange walking around the warehouse, actually, because we sell to everyone and everyone. That's not us being greedy. It's just us wanting to reach every corner. We go into the warehouse and one order could be for a strip of adhesive that someone needs because their screen's starting to separate, and we'd sell that for £1 and it will go straight out on eBay, for example. The next ordering could be a £6,000 order for an insurance company we work with. So we do distribute. We obviously have sort of the 2 separate parts of the business, one that deals with the retail and one that deals with the B2B side. But yeah, we're very much focused, and on both sectors, on both B2B and consumer. B2B is obviously more sustainable for us as a business, but consumer is just something that I love to get involved in. Although our customer service team might not always agree.
There you go. Yeah, customers and business to business is definitely 2 different markets. So consumers can be a little bit challenging sometimes, so I can imagine why customer service can be a little bit funny. Right, Cormac's asking, I missed a bit about laptop covers. I think it was about covers. What was that about?
So that's our Protection Pro. So interestingly, actually, Protection Pro was invented by someone we work very closely with on the Primo project on the polisher. It's the first, it's sort of the first on-demand screen and a screen protection machine that also does sort of vinyl skins. So it's Lee, if you wanted to cover this, because you sort of went over it a minute ago, probably a bit better than I am.
Yeah, so a screen plotter or on-demand screen protection solution in this industry, and I guess the tech as a whole really is such an important thing at the moment. It's the forefront of everyone's mind, and especially consumers, because if you've got, let's say, a MacBook, for instance, that you've taken into one of your guys' stores, they've paid £400 or £500 for a screen replacement. The MacBook's worth £2,000 or £3,000. These machines are a license to print your own money, so you can offer within pretty much 5 minutes of cutting and printing a screen protection which is better than anything else. They're stronger than glass, they absorb the shock better, they don't get fingerprint residue on them, you can have them matte, privacy, clear, and then also you can personalize products or devices with skins, so carbon fiber, different colors, patterns. that kind of thing. And it's a really good value add to anyone in the tech industry that's got a retail store or a business that focuses on devices to push out to consumers and let them know that they can get the best protection possible at a fraction of the cost of having to stock all the different tempered glasses, etc.
That's a really big thing for inventory as well. So tempered glasses and accessories as a whole is quite an expensive game and quite a focused one. You need to know what you're going to sell, and it's always going to be your iPhones and your flagship Samsungs, for example. Whereas now a customer can have an Oppo screen replacement, or they can just come in for a cable for their phone and they can see the display for the point of sale for Protection Pro, and you can engage with the customer, and it doesn't matter what device they've got. You've always got a screen protector for it. You've always got something there for it. And as Lee said, a lot of people, they look at this tiny sheet of film that goes on a device and they think, how can that protect it better than tempered glass? I don't know the science behind it, but it works. NASA use it on spaceships. It had to jump through so many hoops to be applied on NASA equipment on the space station. It was crazy, but it really does work. I remember Bradley, when just after he had proof of concept on it, he took the film itself, which is actually made by Madico, which are the largest producer of film globally for windshield protection in the auto industry. He took some of the exact same film, Protection Pro, and he put it on a car in a junkyard, and they were hitting it with a baseball bat as part of a video for a promotion. And he told me that it looked very staged, but it wasn't. They had like some typical American sort of junkyard sort of hick guy come up to him, and he was saying, "Oh, that's fake. It's not working." So they had him smash out some windows, and they had him absolutely hammering the window Protection Pro on it. Wouldn't break, and he was absolutely gobsmacked at it. In fact, I'll ask Bradley for that video, and I'll see if I can get that posted on our social over the next few days. So that's one to watch out for.
Yeah, sounds pretty interesting, that one does. Right, let's have a look. Raheem saying, "Hi guys, good to see the faces behind the names."
Good to see you here.
Hi, Raheem.
Yes, it's interesting. Hope you're coming to the show. I'm going to see. Well, hopefully, we're going to see a lot of our customers. It's going to be a bit strange, isn't it, Lee? We spend so much time conversating over Facebook and emails and things. It's going to be nice to put some faces to names for sure.
Yeah, I always find that, especially if you deal with people on Facebook or anywhere else on social media, because you're usually used to their profile picture, which can be a cat or a dog. So when you meet them in person, they look totally different. So I'll get people coming up to me at shows. We did one, went to a Target event a few weeks ago, or last month, I think it was now. And a lot of people I've not met before. They come on, it's like they know my face because they see me on here, and I'm like, "Hi," and it's like, right, you're so-and-so. Yeah, you're the one who normally looks like a cat or a child or whatever it may be. So yeah, it is always good to meet people though in person. So especially after the last couple of years. Right, we've got.
Sorry, I was just saying it's quite crazy, really, because some of our customers have been sort of bedroom traders when I was a bedroom trader sort of years ago, and we've sort of grown together over the years where they've got a retail store or a chain of stores, and we've grown ReplaceBase quite massively. It's really weird to have that journey with someone over sort of a 10-year period and not meet them in person. It's crazy. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, really, is just meeting everyone and seeing everyone at the show.
Yeah, it definitely is. I must admit, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to say I'm going to be probably rushed off my feet and not get a chance to talk to half of the people, if even a third of the quarter of the people. But I'm going to try my best to see everyone. But I think I've worked it out that if I was to go and see everyone between all the things, I'd probably get about 10 seconds to speak to every single person. So I think it's going to be a bit of a rush around, but I'm going to do my best. But obviously, if any guys again introduce yourselves or whatever, obviously let us know who you are, because sometimes, as you say, on social media, you don't look like anything you do in real person. And sometimes you're using pictures of yourself of 20 years ago, and you might have grown a beard or lost your hair or whatever since then. So it's always a little bit different. So next, we've got Alison saying, "Not a question, but a comment. I've seen your name mentioned lots in the group. Great to see your enthusiasm and innovation." So,
thank you, Alison. That's really nice comment. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Alison. You'll be able to see her at the event. She's going to be at the event as well. So that's East Anglian Data Recovery. So they're going to be one of the stands there as well. So you'll be able to catch up with each other. So right, we've got Rich saying, "Always have had great service and parts from you guys. That's pretty good. What is the split between Apple and Android devices? Gary's asking.
It's a hard one to split the components down. I'd probably say it was about 70-30 on component sales, but revenue wise, it probably changes because surprisingly, even cheap or old Android devices, especially sort of Samsung and Sony, even sort of Google Pixel that are quite reasonably priced handsets, the core components, the screen, they're extortionately expensive. I think because Apple was so popular, there's a lot of aftermarket, very good quality aftermarket parts in mass production, and it really does water the price down. So we can get, for example, an iPhone 11 would be about £40 for a screen, 30-40 pounds. A Samsung S7 from, how old's that now, Lee? About 8 years ago, 8 years ago?
12, something like that.
Probably about the same price, if not a bit more. So it's crazy the cost of Android repair, to be honest, because there's just no aftermarket alternatives, and if there is, they're just not worth having because they're junk. So yeah, I'd say in actual components, yeah, probably about 70-30.
It looks like you've got an admirer, Lee, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, Lee, you're so beautiful.
Kyle's one of our good customers. We deal with him lots. He's also very beautiful.
Yeah. I reckon he's after a bit of a discount, is what it is, to be honest with you. So,
you know what? I'm quite upset that I didn't get a mention there, Carl. And I'm the one that can give the discount.
Don't ask too much. You never know what people post on social media. So, one of the questions I got coming before the show was basically the screens, for example, you sell and so forth. Are they better quality than the crap that you can get on eBay and Amazon? I think that's a pretty good question.
Definitely. With eBay and Amazon are rife of rubbish, really. It's just because people don't care. It's very inconsistent. I mean, to be fair, customers have used eBay before and they've got a great screen, or from Amazon as well, but it's never consistent. You can go back to the same person twice and you get two completely different screens, or two of the same screen, but one of them looks good and one of them just looks terrible. As Dean, I can see a comment from Dean here about our products are great, but we are not the cheapest. And yeah, we're not. We don't pretend to be the cheapest. The reason is because we do a lot of, for example, we've got an RMA system, our return system. So we're very hot on returns. If you've got a defective product, you start an RMA on our system or let the team know. We track it, we batch test it, we know exactly where that screen has come from, when it came into us, what batch it arrived in, what location all of its associated products are in. And because of that, we can nail down an exact defect on a defect percentage on every single component we sell. Soon, actually, we're going to be publishing the defect rates, the sort of proven defect rates on the front end of the website. So if you're looking at a more expensive screen versus a cheaper screen, because we do cater to the budget market as well, you can see that information transparently on the site and say, well, this screen's got a 0.7% defect rate, but this one's got a 1.2. So that could be the reason it's cheaper. So we put a lot of effort into bespoke software to control things like that, and we do pay extra to ensure that we have quick turnarounds for returns, quick delivery, that excellent service. You can just WhatsApp an account manager, any problem solved in seconds. Unfortunately, it does cost a bit of money to implement that sort of level of service, but you know you can count on us every time you place an order.
That sounds pretty good. I think you answered that question just about right there. So next we've got Raheem asking, where do you see your business in 10 years' time?
Oh, that's a really hard one because the industry is evolving so much. I mean, Lee, how many projects have we picked up this month alone that we did not have on the cards last month?
Probably 7 or 8. I think that's just within the last 2 days.
It's crazy because it's such a young industry. There's just so much potential everywhere. We get opportunity and ideas constantly. Some of them we can follow through on because we have the ability to. Some of them is just we'll get to that later kind of situation. But the beautiful thing about this industry is that there's constant opportunity. There's always something new on the horizon, and it just comes out of thin air. It's a great industry to be in. So in 10 years' time, we've got an expansion into Europe. We've got warehouse secured in Rotterdam. So we're really looking to push the European side of the business, which would be great. That won't have any impact on our UK side. In the UK, we just want to ideally, we want to legitimize. So we want to be sourcing parts from OEMs. We're talking to OEMs at the moment. So if you want genuine service packs from leading OEMs, Samsung, Huawei, Oppo, anyone really, we want to be that person to distribute it. We want to be able to give you the guides to repair it and the tools and the ability to do it. So really it's about legitimization, which iFixit, to be fair, are doing a really good job at. So hopefully we'll be there. 10 years is just a long time. I'm just thinking of all the things that we could possibly do, but yeah, I can't tell you where we're going to be in 6 months, to be honest.
Keep evolving. That's the best thing to do.
That's
so
it.
you just got to keep up with everything. So, and that's the same for any business, really. If you stop, that's when you start to sort of wither and die, if you know what I mean, unless you can find yourself a nice niche or niche, if there's any Americans watching. Right, so let's have a look. So next question is, it's going to be my favourite question. Are you going to Techmax? I think we've already
100%.
answered this one, but...
Really, really excited. So I'll be there. Lee will be coming, and Tash. I don't know. Some of the guys here will definitely know. Tash is one of our senior dedicated account managers. So she's the go-to for a lot of our customers. So at Techmax, we'll be demonstrating. We're quite limited on space. So we're sort of fitting in everything that we can. We'll be demonstrating the Primo polishing machine. So bring by any scratch devices and we'll do what we can with them. We've got Protection Pro, which I'll probably regret saying we're going to be handing out freebies. So stock dependent on what I can fit in my car on the day. But if you want screen protection or a skin fitting, we'll be happy to get that applied for you on anything you want to bring with you. We'll bring a selection of tools, accessories, parts, whatever we can fit really. And yeah, just dead excited about it really.
Okay, sounds pretty good. We got Rich asking, do you guys offer training on repairs or have any recommendation? Be nice to fine-tune the repair skills, especially when dealing with tiny screws. Yeah, I've got big hands. I know exactly what you mean about tiny screws.
So the only training really available, or the most common kind of training, is sort of the level 3 component replacement. So if you're wanting to diagnose and repair faults down to board level, that's where you really need industry specific training. We are looking to offer some board level training later this year. We were hoping to do it around now actually, but it was quite difficult, conflicts of schedules, and we just didn't have enough time to be able to get the event organized. But we were working with Justin Ashford from Art of Repair over in the States. He runs a very successful training course. So hopefully we'll have that later this year. If you're just starting to get into phones, to be honest, a great resource is iFixit, YouTube. It's like repairing a PC. If the memory is faulty, the hard drive, you can diagnose something down to component level, replace that component. There's not too much that can go wrong as long as you're taking the precautions, the ESD. We sell loads of good organizational tools for you to not lose your screws in as well. If it's something you're really interested in, me or Lee or another member of the team can definitely spend a bit of time with you and go over some of the basics, what you should be sort of looking out for to start your repair journey with, maybe buying some test faulty devices cheaply from eBay and just having them for sale so you can just practice and get into the flow of it. But we'd definitely be happy to help you sort of break in really.
I think one thing to add, Steve, is we've just started our Discord repair community, dedicated professionals within the industry and people that are wanting to get into the industry to be able to discuss on different channels based on their level of expertise or repair. And you can create relationships with people in the industry to pick their brains or find out information. And like Steve mentioned, you can call myself or Steve up at any time, or our staff, and they'll direct you to which part is best, which tool is best, and help you as much as they can.
Yeah, that's a great shout actually for Discord. So not long ago, at the start of the month, we launched our community Discord. So If you use a Discord at all and you wanted to get involved, there's a link on the footer of our website and on the header as well, I believe. So you can just enter our server. You can assign yourself a skill level. You can put your business information in there as well, and it's a great opportunity to ask any questions. We do allow consumers in there in certain sections as well, so any questions are welcome. You're not going to be made out to feel stupid if you ask a basic question. Everyone in there is really friendly. The moderation team in there are absolutely great. It's a really good place just to hang out and even just have some conversation about the industry and what's going on, who's doing what. It's a great place to have accessible.
That sounds pretty good. And just to let you guys know who are watching, I have put the link in the ticker at the bottom for Discord as well, as along with all the other ones. So that's that little bit sliding across. It's just there now. So if you do want to go, you've got the link there. I'll leave that on for a few minutes for you. So that's pretty good. Right. Okay. So next question. Is there a minimum order number for obviously not a consumer, but obviously a business to order from yourself? Can they order like one item at, as you said before, £1, or do they have to order 50 quid's worth or whatever?
No, you can order anything you want from us. We do offer free delivery over a certain value, depending on what trade group you're in on our system. The way our trade accounts work is that if you just register for a trade account casually for small frequent orders, you'll be on a light account, which will give you access to all the parts and certain trade features, and then it ratchets up. So if you're spending, I think it's £800 a month on parts, you start getting access to systems like our quote on demand system. So you can add a lot of things to your basket and request a quote on it with comments to say this is cheaper somewhere else, or you can ask a question on it and fire it over to one of the account managers, and they'll be able to tailor any pricing for you. If you've got an exceptionally large order, they'll be able to help you out on it if they can. And then as you go up through the tiers on our website, you get just extra perks. So you then get dedicated account management. So you get the WhatsApp of a direct account manager that you can just hassle anytime, really. You get unlimited free next day delivery on our top tier. So you can just absolutely hammer that, which a lot of our customers do. So there's a lot of benefits on there, and we really do cater to every section of the trade. So if you are just getting into it, we'll set you up in a trade account. It's dead easy. All you have to do is ask. As long as you're actively involved in the industry, you're welcome to join the trade community on site.
That sounds pretty good. Sticking on the same topic, do you need to be VAT registered to purchase items from yourself?
No, not at all. So if you're not VAT registered, it's absolutely fine. Even to be fair, we give some of our trade accounts, our lower tier trade accounts, to people that are just up and coming in the industry. We give anyone that's young. We're really keen on young, enthusiastic repairers. We work with a lot of people of around the age of sort of 14, 15 that are really interested in the industry. So we tend to help them out with trade accounts and give them that extra support that they need. So yeah, we really do have minimum requirements. All that we ask is that you are active in the industry. We just don't want someone coming along trying to get discount and a special service for that one part that they need. So yeah, there's really no requirement there at all.
That sounds pretty good. Right, chat, if you've got any more questions, send them in, please do. Obviously, these guys are here to answer your questions. So if you want to know, I don't know, anything regarding, obviously, mobile phones or the parts of stock or services they offer, feel free to ask. This is the time. Otherwise, they will be at Techmax in a couple of weeks' time. And if you are not registered for Techmax, I recommend you do, because we've got very few tickets left. I think last time I looked, we've got about 7 or 8 tickets left. So once they've gone, they've gone. That's all I'm going to say. We cannot fit anyone else in the venue. So make sure you do turn up at, obviously go to the website and book yourself a ticket or 2 or 3, depending on how many people you want to bring with you. It is on the 24th of June. I'll just put a picture up so you can see who's attending. Obviously, we've got these guys here. We've got all your big distributors like CMS, Ortial, you got VIP, Case King, Target, Spire. Obviously, ReplaceBase is there. We've got ALM, we've got TechBuyer, Pax 8, we've got Windows 11 or Microsoft as I call them, NZXT, you've got Cooler Master, Western Digital, Cherry, Cougar, you've got MZSoft, Norton, Deep Cool, Republic Gamers. There's loads of them. So make sure you obviously get a ticket. Once they've gone, they've gone. There won't be any extras we're at capacity, basically. So we've only got a few left. So make sure you get that ticket booked. And just to show you a few things we have got going off, just knocked this up a few minutes ago, but basically the event starts at 10 o'clock. We've got a talk from Gamers Beat Cancer at roughly 10:30. So that'll basically tell you basically about the charity, basically, which helps basically people who have got terminal cancer and stuff like that, by supplying them goods so they can enjoy what time they have. We've got your lunch at 12 o'clock. At 2:30, we've also got Design Your Perfect PC for free with Target. At 3:30, we've got Battle of the Distributors panel. So we've got CMS Distribution, PAX 8, Spire, Target, VIP, and they're going to go head to head and tell everyone why the best are the best. We've also got Tech Talk Brainstorm. So this is going to be with myself and Cormac. If you don't know, Cormac is an Irish guy who's usually on, who no one can understand. We don't have enough money for a translator, though, so you'll just have to struggle to understand what he's saying. But he will be on and basically talking about how to promote your business. And obviously, we want an audience to participate as well. So you tell us, obviously, how you grow your business and so forth. So basically, a big round table, but not in a round table. It's more of a conference room style. But anyway, then we've got the event roundup and competitions. Competitions wise, all the vendors that are coming are going to be bringing at least £75 worth of prizes. So that gives you a rough idea. You add that up, there's hell of a lot of prizes and a lot of money being given away there. And then we've got the evening networking meal and free drinks. That is for evening ticket holders only, which those tickets have sold out. There is also a raffle to obviously there's a raffle, and the prize for the raffle is a Razer laptop, which is worth like over $2,000 basically. So it gives you a rough idea, and that's in association with Gamers Beat Cancer. So the proceeds of the raffle will be going to the charity, and that's in association with CMS Distribution. Right. Okay, let's get back onto the talk. Have we got any more questions coming in? So, right, we've got Gary Connor. So it's Gary from Wardwiz, who we had on the show a few weeks ago. Would love to speak to you guys about potential working with you before the event. Okay, so
my email is just steve@replacebase.co.uk, and Lee's, as you can probably guess, is lee@replacebase.co.uk. So feel free to drop us a quick email, and we'll have a catch up before the event, definitely.
There you go. So bringing vendors and distributors together. Here we go. So, but yeah, Wardwiz, if you want to check their show out, we had a few weeks ago. Feel free. Decent piece of security software, to be honest with you, especially if you're looking for a new vendor. So I would recommend you take a look at that. We've also got Ryan saying, would love to talk more about the screen protectors when you have time, Steve/Lee. I don't know if you've got Ryan on your books already, know who he is.
Always got time for Ryan.
Yeah, you've always got time for Ryan. So, right, I don't need to tell you how to get hold of him. So that should be fine. So, right, I've got another question for you is, what is the most interesting product or products you sell?
Changes daily, almost. I think. It almost changes daily. So I think something that everyone here really loved not long ago, we had these power stations in from Aerocool, one of the partners we work with. If anyone here needs MacBook batteries, by the way, Aerocool MacBook batteries are on point. They're really, really good. They're one of the few people that actually produce the cells themselves, and the batteries are amazing. But they recently released a power station, and I think it's something crazy like 1,031 watt-hour power station. And we did a few cool TikToks on it and a few social campaigns. We pretty much powered an Xbox and a TV off of this one handheld battery for like 4 or 5 hours, and we actually powered one of our customer service offices, 3 terminals, a printer, and a couple of little bits throughout a whole working day off of one battery pack. So that definitely is the flavor of the month. I think that's probably the most interesting thing at the moment. But again, you'd be surprised what some people find interesting. Like some people's minds are absolutely blown with like a simple repair mat that's got a special section for a bit of adhesive that you're working on. Like the toys and the gadgets in the industry are great. There's some really creative stuff out there.
The really fun thing about RB as well is between myself and Steve is we quite often have little ad hoc competitions to source the most tech related thing from China or across the globe, and then order it and put it onto the system to see how it sells. And generally everyone loves it. So it's a bit of fun as well.
It was fun actually, because my latest sort of prize that we got in, so I got some cleaning pens. They look really cool. So there's like a little pen, you take the nib off and it's like a fountain pen tip, but it's designed to really get in the corners of devices and grills. And it's actually designed for the AirPods, so you can clean the wax out of the earpiece, and it's got a special brush that goes down the sort of the barrel. So I got that in. I said to Lee, I'm going to sell loads of these. So I bought loads of them in. I gave them to Brett, who does all of our media, and he did the video on it. But for whatever reason, he made it so dirty he couldn't even clean the phone, and just every comment on the video was, well, that didn't work. So yeah, that didn't work, Lee. I'm waiting to see what your product is.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Okay, interesting. I don't know what it is, so that's fun. I think the most important thing, Phil, is that everyone here, I think we've got 30 staff in this building, and everyone here is really passionate about the industry, and they love seeing the new stuff that comes through, and the knowledge they have is brilliant. Our staff retention is great. Some of our staff have, in fact, I've still got my second and third employee from sort of 8 or 9 years ago. So it's everyone knows what they're doing, and it's just really great that a new screwdriver comes through the door and everyone just crowds around it. It's really great to see.
That's pretty good, that is. Facebook user, I'm just putting a link into the chat for you, so you can click on that to get your name shown next time you do a post. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. Those batteries sound interesting. I could basically go and charge them up at work when my electricity is cheaper, and then bring it home and then run everything off batteries.
Some woman did actually buy one from us, so she can charge it up at uni and take it home to power her sort of accommodation, to get around the price hike of power. So that is a legitimate. I think that was one of the first sales, and she specifically got in touch to let us know that's what she was doing. So yeah, we thought she was joking, but no, she bought the top model. So yeah, good on her. There
you go. I'm going to say that's probably worked pretty well. That so right. Let's have a quick look. So Dean Jenkins is saying we've already buy your Apple batteries, never had a problem. So that's
awesome,
good.
Good stuff.
Raheem says the takeaway from this is that if it wasn't for ReplaceBase, a lot of repair centers wouldn't be where they are today. So that's high recommendation for you guys.
That's amazing. That's really nice to hear. Thank you.
So next we got Facebook user. As I said, Facebook user, click that link I put in the chat or type it in. It'll allow your name to be shown next time. But basically they say, cracking company. We've used them for quite some time. I've been in the industry for 30 years and can honestly say a business is no better than its returns department. And these guys have got customer care down to a T. Hats off to them. So there you go. So
that's really nice. We do put a lot of effort into returns, because the way the industry is, returns, defects happen. Everything has a defect. We're not one of these companies say we test every single part, because we've got 14,000 SKUs and well over 2 million components in the warehouse below me. So it's physically impossible. Returns, defects, they happen. And just even if we just make that cross shipment, so we'll just send you a replacement while we wait for your one back, it just makes that difference to keep your customer happy. And that's what's important with B2B, to make sure that your workflow isn't messed up, to make sure your customer's happy, and to make sure you know exactly what's going on and when you can get that second fix in. So that's really good to hear. And yeah, that's something we're really proud of here, is how we handle the returns.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to say it's one of the first things I check about is returns things and stuff like that. And one of the questions what we did have come in before the show was regarding returns, actually. So that ties in just right. And it was, what's the warranty like on products? Do I have to return them to you or to the manufacturer?
So everything comes back to us. There is not a single one of our SKUs that we expect you to deal with the vendor on at all. So we'll process every return. The way that our returns work is that we've always, because we deal a lot with consumers, and a lot of our trade customers used to be consumer and sort of grew into trade, which I sort of touched on earlier. So we try and we don't hide behind B2B. You're not getting this, you're getting restrictions, restocking fees or anything. You still get your consumer rights with every purchase. So you still get a 30-day return window on anything you buy, for full refunds or credits. In fact, some of our accounts, we actually put 90 days on. So you can actually stock up on parts for 90 days, 3 months, and you can return excess stock and just get a full refund with no restocking fees, no nothing. We cover returns postage. We provide prepaid labels on the majority of returns, especially if it's within 30 days. So if it's a DOA part, we'll have that back. A lot of our parts, probably shouldn't say it, we credit or refund without having the hassle of returning. But we do track and monitor that, so watch it. Anyone that abuses that system. But we also, as I touched on earlier, with our defects reporting, even if a customer on eBay gets in touch and says, look, this screw was slightly bent or is missing one, we'd still raise an RMA and just close it instantly with a resolution so that we can track that there was a problem with that part and it goes towards its defect rate. So even if we do that, we've still got the full data set on where the problem areas are, what we need to address, and we jump on that. So yeah, that's our return. Oh, in terms of warranty, so batteries, we usually offer a 12-month, or I think it's an 85% retention on battery. So if it drops below 85%, then we'll warranty it. And if it, actually, I think it's 90%, sorry. If it drops below 90% capacity, we'll warranty it. If it's over 12 months, we can't warranty it just because of the natural sort of degradation on the battery itself. Pretty much everything else that we sell is a lifetime warranty. And unlike some companies that will say it's a lifetime, but only covers it for 2 or 3 years because that's how long a device lasts, our warranty, you can come back to us in 20 years with your broken screen and we will probably not replace it because we probably won't have it, but we'll give you its value back as store credit or an alternative replacement. So our warranty, it will last for years and it's transferable. So if you're doing repairs for a customer and the customer has a problem with an accessory or anything really, they can come directly to us. And as long as they've got the proof of purchase from you, we've got no problem with warranting that as well.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, to be honest with you. Right, chat does seem to be a little bit quiet now, so I think they've asked all the questions. We're coming up to that time anyway, so that's pretty good. So what we'll do now then is just go through some final thoughts with you, Steve and Lee. So tell everyone in a couple of sentences why they should buy from yourselves, or why they should give you a try, or what you offer, what no one else offers, or promote yourselves.
I honestly think we are the best of what we do. We've got the passion, we've got the resource, and we put everything into ReplaceBase. It's just a part of everyone here. So if there is problems, which there will be resolved, and we will fix anything. We will listen to feedback. We will implement changes. We are the most innovative company in our sector, and hands down, I honestly believe that. If you haven't tried us already and you're just getting into mobiles, give us a call, send us an email, and we'll prove it to you.
That sounds pretty good. I'm going to say I've been dealing with you guys mainly through emails, and you can even hear the passion and the excitement in the emails. I don't know, it's just the way I'm reading it or not, but it does seem like you do actually care about what you're doing, which is pretty good. So on to you now, Lee. So what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, look, I just echo what Steve says. We're number one for a reason. We've got unrivaled service. We don't claim to be the cheapest. We claim to have the best quality, the best warranties, the best service, and great value. So we don't have to be the cheapest to have great value. And all of our staff are dedicated and trained to help everybody, whether that's, like Steve said before, a piece of adhesive, or on how to value add to your business. We're there to help you. And that's exactly why I joined RB over a year ago now. I was a customer of RB and then joined with Steve because I believed in what he was doing so much, went to visit and just saw that it was a great company that has so much progression and that I wanted to be a part of.
Okay, that's pretty good. So yeah, guys, if you haven't already, give these guys a try. Have a look what they've got. They sound like, well, to be honest with you, I don't speak to many mobile phone suppliers and stuff like that. But I think, to be honest with you, they've sold me on buying stuff if I ever need any, that's for sure. So we've got Dean just saying, highly recommended the Feather Edge SSDs. Not heard of them, but look forward to catching up at Techmax. Keep meaning to pop into Bristol branch if this is still a location. So Dean will obviously be seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. So
Dean, looking forward to catching up with you.
Right, so guys, let's finish this up. So we've got up and coming shows. Next week is the Techmax pre-show. So that's going to be 1 week before we actually have Techmax. And we're going to be talking about, believe it or not, Techmax. So if you want any last minute information, so forth about Techmax, we're going to be talking about it there. You want to know what you're going to be eating for your lunch, your dinner, tea, whatever, what beer's on the bar, we can talk about it. So that'll be next Thursday. We do have a few shows booked in for July. We do have a few which we're still in the process of sorting. But in July, we've got i3i distribution as well as ESET on the show as well. So ESET is another security brand. Otherwise, we're on every Thursday at 8 o'clock, as it says on the screen there. So obviously, tune in 8 p.m. every Thursday, with the exception of the day before Techmax, because we're going to be too busy sorting stuff out and getting it ready, because we've got to get up to the venue at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to be setting up and everything and getting it all sorted. So we won't be on that week, but we'll be next week, but not the week after. If you do need to get in touch with these guys at ReplaceBase, obviously, Steve and Lee, obviously their email addresses are Steve or Lee, depending on which one you want them to do, at replacebase.co.uk. Also, we've got their TikTok, Twitter, and everything else on the screen at the bottom as well. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. And I'll just leave you with this little video before we go. So, see you later, everyone. Can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you? Strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry. Where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. Where there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. And what's more, you get all that for a quid. Techmax 2022 will be on the 24th of June at Bramall Lane, the Sheffield United football stadium in Sheffield. There will be around 50 different brands available for you to meet, and up to 500 other techs just like you. Get registered now at techmax2022.co.uk.